Welcome back to The Busy Baker. Today on the channel, we're making one of the best recipes on The Busy Baker, this one-pan turkey dinner. If you've ever felt intimidated by the thought of making a holiday dinner for your family and friends, or maybe you're cooking for a small crowd and you don't want all the leftovers from cooking a whole turkey dinner, this one-pan turkey dinner is the recipe you need. I'll show you how to cook a juicy turkey breast, mashed potatoes, roasted Brussels sprouts, roasted carrots, and gravy, all on one pan. And it's all ready in about an hour. I know, it's almost unbelievable. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. All right, so we're all ready to go. I've got the oven preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius. And I've already prepared a sheet pan with a tablespoon of olive oil. And I've placed the turkey breast on top in the middle of the pan. Now, it's important to grease your pan with olive oil because we're about to rub this turkey breast with a lot of butter for flavor, of course, and butter tends to burn in the oven. So it's important that we insulate the butter by adding olive oil to the pan first. So I'm gonna start with my butter here. I have 1/3 cup of unsalted butter, and I'm gonna add 4 fresh garlic cloves to that. I'm gonna put them through my garlic press, but you can feel free to finely mince them. Now to this, I'm also going to add some salt and pepper. I have about a teaspoon of pepper and a teaspoon of salt. And I'm also gonna add garlic powder. Now you're probably thinking, do you really need fresh garlic and garlic powder? Yes, you do. And then I'm also gonna add some fresh herbs. I like to use rosemary and some parsley and sage, but you can include whatever fresh herbs you have on hand. You can also use dried as well. Just remember that if you're using dried herbs instead of fresh, you need to at least cut the measurement in half. So we call for about 2 tablespoons of fresh herbs here, and I would actually recommend you use 2 teaspoons of dried. So I'm gonna pat the turkey breast dry with some paper towel. This will help the butter stick. And then I'm gonna spread the butter all over the turkey breast. Now you might be thinking, this seems like a lot of butter. And you're right, it is a lot of butter. But remember, this is a holiday meal, so fat equals flavor. So the key to this sheet pan dinner is that everything cooks in stages. And if you head to our website using the link in the description, you'll be able to see how to make this easy holiday sheet pan dinner in so many different ways with so many different cuts of turkey and veggies and all that stuff. So because we're making an entire dinner all on one sheet pan, it's important that everything cooks in stages. So right now we're also gonna add the potatoes to the pan because they're gonna cook at the same time as the turkey. Now today we're gonna make mashed potatoes on a sheet pan, which is actually far easier than it sounds. Normally if you just add potatoes to a sheet pan, they'll roast. They'll get all crispy and golden brown, which is also delicious. And if you'd like to skip this step and just add the potatoes and have roasted potatoes, you can totally do that. But today we're gonna do something special and we're gonna make mashed potatoes on the sheet pan. So in order to make mashed potatoes on a sheet pan, we're gonna use a method called en papillote, which is French for in a pouch. And so it's just basically a fancy way of saying we're gonna cook the potatoes in some parchment paper. And because they're gonna be in the parchment paper, they're gonna steam instead of roast so that we can easily mash them when they're done. So I'm gonna take the baking paper and I'm gonna place it on this side of the turkey breast, and I'm gonna add my potatoes in. And I'm also gonna add some salt to this as well. You can add some butter, but it's not really necessary because we're gonna add more butter later. So it's about 6 potatoes, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna close it up as best we can, and we're gonna twist the ends. So there you have it, potatoes en papillote. So now this needs to bake in the oven for 20 minutes. And while that's baking, we're gonna prepare the veggies. So we're gonna prepare our veggies. I like keeping the seasoning for these vegetables super simple, but you can feel free to season them however you like. I'm gonna season both the Brussels sprouts and the baby carrots with a teaspoon of olive oil, half a teaspoon of salt, and a quarter teaspoon of garlic powder, and I'm gonna add some pepper in there too. As I mentioned, this sheet pan dinner is for the holidays, and everybody seems to have different traditions around the holidays, different dishes that they enjoy, that they grew up eating with their families. And so we've actually designed this sheet pan dinner as a guide so that you're able to include a lot of very popular dishes around the holidays all on your sheet pan. So if you head to the link in the description, you'll be able to view the full guide. And it includes everything from sweet potatoes to squash to cranberries, all different kinds of potatoes. You'll see. So I'm just gonna give these a toss. Make sure that they're all well coated in the olive oil and the seasonings. Okay, so I'm just gonna set these veggies aside and wait for the turkey and the potatoes. Okay, so the turkey and the potatoes have been in the oven for 20 minutes, and now it's time to add the veggies to the pan. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add the carrots here, and I'm gonna add the Brussels sprouts here. Okay, so I've added the veggies, and I'm gonna put it back in the oven for another 20 minutes. Okay, so it's been in the oven for another 20 minutes and everything is done. So what we're going to do is let the turkey breast rest on a plate covered with some foil, just so it stays nice and juicy. So I'm gonna cover the turkey with some foil. And I'm just gonna set that aside to rest while we prepare everything else. So now I'm gonna remove all the veggies from the pan, and I'm gonna leave the pan drippings behind because we're gonna make some gravy. And last but not least, I'm gonna remove the potatoes from their pouch so we can mash them. Now you might be thinking, I thought you said this was a one-pan recipe and now you've dirtied a bunch of bowls. Well, the only reason for that is because we want to make gravy. And the only way to get access to all this flavor here is to take everything off the pan. But if you're not going to make gravy, then you can feel free to leave everything on the pan and serve it as it is. Okay, let's make some super easy gravy. First thing we're gonna do is put all of our pan drippings into a pot over medium heat. And we don't really need to add much to this gravy because all the flavor from the turkey and the veggies and the potatoes are already on the pan. So to this, we're going to add some beef stock. We're gonna add some white wine. And I'm just gonna cook this down until it starts to boil. We wanna cook off that wine. So our gravy so far is bubbling away, and now I'm going to combine a 1/4 cup of water with about 2 tablespoons of flour and give that a mix. That's what's gonna thicken our gravy. I'm gonna add our flour mixture into the gravy. And I'm gonna give that a good whisk. I'll let this cook for just a couple more minutes and then it'll be time to mash our potatoes. So now it's time to make the mashed potatoes. So I'm gonna add the butter in while the potatoes are nice and hot. And I'm gonna mash the butter in with the potatoes. And then when they're mostly mashed, we'll add some milk and sour cream. Okay, so now we're gonna add the sour cream, about 1/2 cup. And I wouldn't recommend adding all the milk right away. This recipe calls for 3/4 cup, but start with a little bit less than that and then add more as you like, depending on what kind of texture you like your mashed potatoes. So the potatoes are pretty much ready to go, and now it's time to assemble our dinner. Now you can decide how you want to serve this. If you want to use some serving platters, slice up your turkey, serve the veggies in a nice serving bowl, or like I like to do, I put it all back on the sheet pan and serve it all on the same pan that we cooked it on to save myself some dishes. So I've added the turkey breast back to the sheet pan and I've sliced it up for you so you can see how juicy it is. And now I'm gonna add the veggies back on. And I'll add the mashed potatoes too. And there you have it, a turkey dinner made all on one pan, complete with delicious vegetables, juicy turkey breast, and mashed potatoes, and we can't forget the gravy. If you're cooking for a small crowd or maybe just your small family, this easy one-pan turkey dinner is definitely the holiday recipe you need. It comes together in just about an hour and it's easy enough for you even if you're a beginner in the kitchen. And as I mentioned, if you head to the website, you'll be able to use our guide to create your own holiday dinner with all the fixings you like. Whether it's sweet potatoes, stuffing, cranberries, squash, or even a different cut of turkey, you'll find a complete guide to help you craft your perfect one-pan turkey dinner for the holidays. As always, the full recipe we made today is in the description box below, and you can also click the link below to head to the website for more details, tips, tricks, and troubleshooting ideas. I hope you love this one-pan turkey dinner recipe as much as I do, and if you do, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below letting me know how you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more delicious recipes just like this one. See you next time!